Hey guys, this is day 4 video. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, you're on track. So we are done with chapter 8, and as I said before, that the summative assessment, instead of tests, we're going to do a project. And yeah, it's already uploaded on Google Classroom. So if you go to classwork, you will see you can just select the online learning tab, and then it will just show all the posting that I posted ever since we started school online. Okay. So basically, if you want the help of like how to use Excel, Desmos, calculator, you can go to chapter 8 project help, and there is a video, and I also wrote down like step by step. But if you want to check the rubric, it's the exponential model project. That's where you can check the rubric, but also submit your assignment. To collect the data, I do recommend WHO website, as that is where all these countries are sending their official record, so that who can, get because they do the statisticians will analyze the data as well. And so if you look at their situation report, you will see kind of like all the countries' confirmed cases and different things. And there are other information that might be helpful to write your conclusion and things like that for the report. And so, yeah, I highly recommend just like browsing around, kind of like looking at different things, not to really get, I guess, discouraged by the number, but to see like how each countries are reacting differently, and therefore how they are seeing a different kind of increase and leveling out and different things like that. All right, so if you click on the project itself, you will see the rubric that I posted as a PDF file. I want you to go through each rubric and see if your report actually answers all the questions that I'm looking for. So you need to have at least 20. Okay, in statistics, for a valid model, you don't want such a small sample, because then it would be very, it won't be as accurate. So like, I want you to get 20 different data points. It's better if you can get up to 30, but I understand depends on which country you choose. They may not have 30 days worth of points. And you must give me the source of data. So if you didn't use WHO, give me another place where you found data you've thought reliable, because it's quite important that you get the data from the reliable sources. So the graphic display of data is where you're going to look at the video and see how you can do all of those things. I highly recommend using like a screenshot, and then you actually put all those graphs on your report itself that you're going to use, you're going to write with Google Doc or some other things, but I do want to see your graph right along with your report. So make sure these things are, so you have to have 3 trend lines. One is exponential, polynomial, and logistics. And logistics only can be calculated by your calculator, and then you can draw that on Desmos. Or you can kind of screenshot calculator, but I prefer that you transfer that information to Desmos, so I know you know how to use Desmos as well. And you need to have 3 equations for each model. And the actual report itself can be very brief. You have to describe what you see in the scatter plot. So, for example, if you chose a country of Jordan, when was the first report, and what happened between the first report and the increase of confirmed cases. So you can explain what happened during those time and why did it increase. You can either use your own knowledge, or you can use some media that you read about and how the government is dealing with it. So I want you to do a little more than just like number, because we are dealing with real cases, and that these numbers aren't just numbers, they are people, right? And there are people who are suffering from this disease. So I know this is a math project, but I really want you to take time and think about the people who are involved, not just the patients, but also the medical professionals and the government policymaking people as well. And so I want you to choose a country that you are interested in, and that you can kind of take this time to research a little more how those countries are dealing with the situation, but also you can take this time to pray for that country and the people who are suffering. So I want you to be more thorough in the description of the selected data. Don't look at it as just number, because I think as a Christian statistician or a Christian mathematician, it's very important not to lose sight of what is really at stake, right? We're not just talking about numbers, we're talking about human beings, right? And so, yeah, I want you to think about that as you write this report. And don't think of this as just like an assignment. Think of this as a way to meditate and way to pray and get closer to God through this time of prayer. Another thing I want you to try is projection of the data. So when you get 3 models, the X will represent the number of days that has passed since the first case, right? So I want you to plug in 40 to see how different outcomes and compare those outcomes and explain which outcome seems to be most reasonable and what other variables might be changing that projection or things like that. Okay, so I know it kind of seems like a little up in the air, and I do want you to take ownership of this project, and please contact me if you need a little more help. Technicality of like how to draw the scatter plot and things like that. I can answer your question either through email or a short video, but I think the video that I made of how to do all these things on the program should help. Yeah, so I want you to really use this time to not only just do my project, but to actually think about the world and everyone who's involved. And I know it's very easy for us to just be consumed by what we have right now, our situation, and I know it's not very pleasant. I know that for me, I'm by myself in this house, and so in some ways, like, it's a less thing to worry about. I don't have to worry as much about food or water and things like that. But I miss people. I miss seeing you guys and interacting with other people. But it's not that I'm minimizing my suffering, but I'm also realizing that there are people who are dying from this disease and people who are working like 24/7 to keep this under control. Although healthcare professionals that they're probably risking their lives, but also working tirelessly to help those patients to feel better. So I think there are a lot of people group that we can pray together. So I want you to take this project more personally than just an Algebra 2 project. So day 4 is, so Wednesday, I want you to focus on this project. Obviously, you don't have to do all in one sitting because it's not due till Sunday, but I do want you to encourage to start it as soon as possible. So I don't get questions on Saturday night, how do I do this kind of thing. And tomorrow, we'll start on a new chapter, and I'll make a new video. But I will try not to give you a lot of homework assignments so that you can focus on this project. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!